Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhi Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhi Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Sankirtan Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Mataji, thank you for joining today's session. So before we start, we'll quickly go with the invocation prayers. Before that, we're going to read from Prabhupada Lilamrita. If anyone would like to please volunteer and read from Prabhupada Lilamrita, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read, please?
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. Around the world, but absorbed in Bombay. But to Gopala, it was a small palanquin carried by 4 men. There were some ropes for Prabhupada to hold on to, and it wasn't a very comfortable ride for him. But it was an amazing scene. Devotees with torches, electric torches and fire torches and lanterns, and Prabhupada coming down in his palanquin, down the trail. Hundreds of devotees were surrounding him. Kirtan was roaring. I kept trying to get up close to Prabhupada and get a glance. Janava Devidasi. We were running down the steep hill in the dark amid the loud chanting of a river of devotees, and our feet seemed to never touch the ground. About halfway down, I caught up to the palanquin, but then I realized that being close to Srila Prabhupada meant far more than physical proximity, and that I needed to become much more serious about Krishna consciousness in order to feel less distant from him. On Janmashtami night, Prabhupada went to the temple and listened to readings from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, about Lord Krishna's birth. Around 2 a.m., he noticed many devotees were nodding. You are getting tired, he said, smiling, and he ended the program. Even in the midst of such a large festival, Prabhupada was again plunged into the struggle over the Bombay land. A letter arrived from Giriraj explaining his failure to secure the 5 lakhs loan owed the government and the government's refusal to grant permission. He also mentioned his suspicion that Mr. N was influencing the Charity Commissioner's decision. Prabhupada had a copy of the purchase agreement with him and he studied it carefully. Again, he concluded that his position was strong, since he was occupying the land according to the terms of the agreement. He had paid 2 lakhs as promised, but Mr. N had not turned over the deed. Now more money was being demanded, and Prabhupada had said Giriraj should pay this money and get the deed. As for the permission for the government charity commissioner, there was no mention of it in the agreement. Shall I read more? No.
Yes, Mother, just one more page.
Although Mr. N's tactics were apparently bewildering Giriraj, Prabhupada saw them as only empty bluffs. He telegrammed Giriraj, "Take bank mortgage, pay off N." Before receiving any reply from Giriraj, Prabhupada sent another telegram. "Why do you say conveyance impossible? Everything clear in agreement of purchase agreement of purchase. Conveyance to be executed immediately according to terms of agreement of purchase." On Srila Prabhupada's appearance day morning, he went up the hill to the pavilion to speak. It was a beautiful late summer's day, and he sat on the stage on a red Vyasasan behind the deities of Radha Damodar and Lord Jagannath. In addition to hundreds of his disciples, hundreds of guests were also present, the entire audience numbering about 1,000. The festival was a newsworthy turnout of the Hare Krishna movement, and reporters from the New York Times and other newspapers were on hand, along with television film crews. Prabhupada spoke, explaining how, although an observer might misunderstand the devotees' worship of their spiritual master, no one should think that the spiritual master was presenting himself as God. Prabhupada compared the spiritual master to a tax collector. As a tax collector collects money only on behalf of the king, so the spiritual master receives honor but on behalf of Lord Krishna. Everyone should serve and bow down to the Supreme Lord, and the spiritual master comes and collects obeisances and worships on behalf of God, who accepts any sincere worship of the spiritual master as an offering to himself. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Prabhu Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We'll start with the invocation prayer. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiryate nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavata neshtiki. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. So we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter number 21, Shloka 1 to 3. Would anyone like to recite the shlokas, please? Because these shlokas are just like statements, not in any meter as such.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm just reading the first one.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Sri Shuka Uvacha Hetabanevo Bhubalayasya Sanniveshaha Praman Lakshanato Vyakhataha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Will you continue for the second and third Prabhu as well?
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Shall I continue or someone else?
Yes. Please continue, Prabhuji.
Okay. Etena hi divo mandalamanam tadvida upadishyanti jatha divalayor nishpabadinam te antarenakshitam tad ubhaya sannidham yan madhyagato bhagavams tapatam potistapon atopena trilokim pratapatta অবভাষয়তি আত্মভাষা সয়েষ উদ্গয়ন দক্ষিণায়ন বৈশুবত সমজ্ঞাভির মন্দ শৈঘ্র সমানাভির গতিভির আরোহণ অবরোহণ সমান স্থানেষু যথাশবনম অভিপদ্যমানো মকরাদিষু রাশিস্য অহোরাত্রাণি দীর্ঘ রস্য সমানানি বিধত্তে. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavata Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. We'll just quickly go for the synonyms. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Etwan, so much, Eva, certainly, Bahu was Valasya Sannivesha, the agreement of the whole universe, the arrangement of the whole universe. Param Lakshana according to the measurement 50 crore of yojans or 4 billion miles in width and length, and characteristics. Vakyayatha estimated. Etan, by this estimation, he indeed, Diva, of the upper planetary system, Mandala Manam, the measurement of the globe, Tadvidha, the experts who knows about it, Upadashanti, instruct, Yatha, just as, Deva Daleo, in the two halves, Nishpav Adinam, of grain such as wheat, Te, of two division, Antarena, in the interval space, Antariksham, the sky or outer space, Tat, by the two, Ubhaya, on both sides, Sandhintam, where the two parts join, Yat, of which Mad Gata, being situated in the middle, Bhagwan, the most powerful, Tapam Pati, the master of those that heat the whole universe, Tapaha, Tapanaha, the sun, Atpena, the heat, Trilokam, the three worlds, Pratapit, heat, Avyabhashiti, light, Atma Bhayas, by his own illuminating rays, Saha, that, Esha, the sun globe, Ud, Udagaya, the passing of north side of the equator, Dakshanayana, of passing to the southern side of the equator, Vasivata, of passing through the equator, some Janbhi, by different names, Mandaya, characteristic by slowness, Saigraha, swiftness, some Nabhi, of the equity, and by equity, Gati bhi, by movement, Arohana, of rising, Avohana, of going down, Samanaha, of staying in the middle, Sthaneshu, in position, Yatha Swaham, according to the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Abhi Pada Manaha, moving, Makar Adishu, heading by the sign Makar Capricorn, Rashi in the different sign, Aharanti, days and night, Dirga, long, Haraswa, short, Samani, equal, Vidate, makes. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sukhdev Goswami said, My dear king, I have thus far described the diameter of the universe, 50 crores of yojan or 4 billion miles, and its great characteristic according to the estimation of learned scholars. As a grain of wheat is divided into two parts, and one can estimate the size of upper part by knowing that of the lower. So experts, geographer instructs, one can understand the measurement of upper part of universe by knowing those of the lower part. The sky between the earth's spheres and heavenly spheres is called antariksha, or outer space. It adjoins the top of the sphere of earth and the bottom of that heaven. In the midst of that region of the outer space, antariksha is the most opulent sun, the king of all planets, that emanates heat such as moon. By the influence of its radiation, the sun heats the universe and maintains its proper order. It also gives light to help all living entities. While passing towards the north, towards the south, and through the equator, in accordance to the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is said to move slowly, swiftly, and moderately, according to its movement in rising above, going beneath, or passing through the equator, and comprehending and correspondingly coming in touch with various signs of zodiac headed by Makar, Capricorn. Days and nights are short, long, or equal, or to one another. Would someone like to read the purport of 521.3, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Please go ahead, Madhurya.
Lord Brahma prays in the Brahma Samhita 5.52, Yachakshuresha Shobita Shakala Grahanam রাজা সমস্ত সুরমূর্তির অশেষতে যাহা যস্যাজ্ঞায় ভ্রমতি সম্ভ্রত কালচক্র গোবিন্দমাদি পুরুষম তমহম ভজামি. I worship Govinda, the Preamable Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, under whose control even the sun, which is considered to be the eye of the Lord, rotates within the fixed orbit of eternal time. The sun is the king of all planetary systems and has unlimited potency in heat and light. Although the sun is described as Bhagavan, the most powerful, and although it is actually the most powerful planet within the universe, it nevertheless has to carry out the order of Govinda, Krishna. The sun god cannot deviate even an inch from the orbit designated to him. Therefore, in every sphere of life, the supreme order of Supreme Personality of Godhead is carried out. The intermaterial nature carries out his orders. However, we foolishly see the activities of the material nature without understanding the supreme order and supreme person behind them. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dakshena Prakritihi. Material nature carries out the orders of the Lord, and thus everything is maintained in an orderly way. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Om Jnana Tirmindasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamischa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parejana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitan Misha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, before we jump into today's session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 21, Shloka 1 to 3, we're just going to describe what we're going to learn from these three shlokas. So these are, I have just put like the chapter's outline. What is the purpose of reading this section? Then part 3 will be the significance of sun in the temple. Then we're going to see something about sun movement, how sun passes through different zodiac signs as it was mentioned in shloka number 3. And last but not the least, the present Surya. We need to understand that Surya is a post, right? Like a president is a post, prime minister is a post, governor is a post, secretary is a post. Similarly, Surya, Indra, Chandra, Varun, Brahma, they are all post, and they are held by some person for some specific period of time. And after that, when time period is over, they retire, they give it a position to a new person, and the job continues as per normal. So the position keeps changing, the post kept changing, the persons keep changing, but the position will remain as it is. So that we will understand in part 5. So before that, let's see what is the name of this chapter. It's called as the movement of the sun. Now it's a very hard to believe, because since childhood we have been learning that sun is stationary and the earth move around the sun. But this chapter says movement of the sun, which is totally a blow for the science, who have been studying since childhood that is Earth, which revolves around the sun. But this chapter says the sun is moving as well. So it is a bit difficult to digest, but yes, Srimad Bhagavatam is an oldest Puranas, and it describes what um, science is trying to prove now, that yes, sun moves through the universe. I was speaking to Keshav yesterday, and I asked him, Keshav, do you know that Earth revolves around the sun and sun is stationary? He said, no, sun is moving around the universe. So, as for our generation, sun was stationary. For their generation, science is saying that yes, sun is also moving. So we will know the sun is moving through from one circle to another in on its pattern. So we'll have a quick look. So what is there in this chapter? We'll look in more detail as to what exactly it means. But before that, we'll have a quick session about sun. We need to understand who this personality is. So I will request everyone to kindly unmute their mic, because I'm going to ask some question about sun. If you can please try to answer. Okay. The first question is, how many wheels do the chariot of sun have? Anyone would like to answer? How many wheels does the chariot of sun have? You can unmute your mic and please give the answer. Am I audible? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji, you're audible. I think devotees are just hesitant to answer the questions.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, am I speaking just myself? Okay. So how many wheels does the chariot of sun have? The chariot of sun has only one wheel.
12,
One.
Prabhuji?
It's one, Mataji. It's one.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. The second question is, what is the name of the driver of a sun chariot? So sun is a god.
Orunu.
Arun, Prabhuji.
Yes, Arun. And he is a brother of?
Guru.
Garura.
Yes. Thank you so much. How many horses on the chariot of sun god?
Oh,
How many horses on the chariot?
7.
Correct. 7. And they represents the 7 meters of the shlokas, which is also known as chandas, the 7 meters that we sing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the Gayatri, they are all the 7 meters, which I have just mentioned on the screen, which is Gayatri, Bhrati, Ushni, Jagati, Pankti, right? Then how many spokes on the wheel have? You know the spokes? We got a wheel, then you got the spokes inside the wheel. How many spokes do the wheel of sun have?
12. 12.
12. Anyone else?
24.
24. Anyone else? There are 6, which represents 6 ritus. They are Varsha, which is spring, summer, monsoon, autumn, winter, and pre-winter and late winter. Shirsha. Okay, there are 6 spokes. Sometimes it also says there are 12 spokes represent 12 months, but they are actually 6, represent 6 seasons, not 12 months, 6 seasons. And how many wives do sun god have? Sorry?
2.
Okay. So
3.
3. Okay. The answer is the sun has 4 wives, and they have got the name as Sanjana, which is the first wife, and she is the daughter of Vishwakarma, and she gives knowledge. And she is so bright that she has to create another form, which is called as Chaya, to give shade. Okay, and she gives shade to us. The third is Jyoti. She symbolizes the sovereignty and provide lights. And the last but not the least is Aishwarya. She gives opulence to us. But apart from all these things, if you see sun in every month, you will see sun in different color. If you have noticed, sun is different in every different month. But because we don't observe sun, we are so lazy, we don't see the sun, having different colors. We are living a so fast-paced life that we don't have time to look at sun. In previous days, people used to Surya Namaskar, but nowadays it's not that habitual that people do Surya Namaskar as such. So we have got life so busy that we don't even look at the color of sun change on every different ritus. Every 6 months, every 2 months, the sun colors changes. And apart from this, there are some personalities which always move around the sun. So when the sun is moving, Arun is guiding the horses, and the sun is sitting on this one-wheel chariot. There are always some personalities which guided, which are in front of the chariot. Do you know who they are called? They are always the size of the thumb, just size of thumb. I'll give you one hint. They are 60,000 in numbers. They're called as Valikyas. They always 24/7, 365 days, they are in front of the chariot. They are performing prayers. And not only the Valikyas, they are many Apsaras, they're Gandharvas, they are Devtas, Nagas, Yakshas, always in front of the chariot of sun and praying to Lord Sun. Please try to remember that we have got the nakshatras, right? Navgrahas. Of those Navgrahas, sun is a chief. So he is one of the very, very powerful demigod, very, very powerful, that position. So if you see in the morning, as I was explaining, the every season has different colors. So in the morning, the sun is very good for the health purposes, for good to do your namaskars and your meditation. The same sun in the afternoon, if you do any work, that will drain your energy. And whereas if you look at the sun in the evening, it's not recommended, it's not good for your health. Now, this is what the scripture says. But all the materialistic people, they have made evening as sunset point. There's no morning point because koi utna nahi hai na. No one wakes up in the morning in Brahmurat. Why to go for morning? But this evening, yes, people go in the evening. You want to have a nice, what do you call? We go on holidays. We look at sunset in the evening. Looking at sunset in the evening is not recommended in the scriptures. Yes, sunrise is good, but not the sunset. So there was just information about the sun. Now we will quickly look at the main focus of this chapter, which is the movement of the sun. But before that, we'll just have a quick look what we have just discovered in the previous chapter. In the 18th chapter, we saw about the people who are offering prayers. In the 19th chapter, we saw people who are the remaining 6 islands. And in this chapter, we'll particularly see what the sun is, what is the movement of the sun is, how we can digest that part, how the sun moves. So we have seen in the previous chapter that we have got this Lokalok mountains, the world. We got 7 seas, 7 islands, Dweep, Meru Parvat in between. These are like a disk, which is, if you look at this, like a disk here. I'll show you another photograph. This is the disk over here. This is the disk, and this disk is over here. So I'll quickly. So this disk is here. So when Garbhodakshay Vishnu enters the universe, the first half of the universe is filled by his transcendental perspiration. Then on top of that, there is this material world. Sorry, this disk, which is comprising of all 7 islands, all these different dweeps, all different oceans. Below there are 7 hellish planets, and along with that there are 28 hell planets, and on the top they are all heavenly planets. So this is all situated here. Okay, so over here the earth is somewhere here where the light is. I'm just putting my red color. So this is where the earth is. Okay, this is moon, and somewhere near Manusotra mountain, here somewhere, is the sun. We're going to discuss this more in a little bit more in more detail. So this area here is called as Antariksha. This area is called as Antariksha. And if we divide from Earth, if we split Earth in half, and from here, from Earth half to down, is 25 crore yojan, or you can say 2.5 billion yojana or miles. And similarly, from the earth, if we split and go up towards Satyaloka side, that's again 2.5 billion miles. This is what the shloka number 2 says. If we try to measure the grain, if we try to measure this 1/2, it will be the same as the upper half. So that's what we can conclude, that if we split the earth, which is right in the middle, and anything goes down, is 2.5 to 25 crore yojan, or 2.5 billion yojan miles. And similarly, if we go up, it is 2.5 billion miles. And if we club up together, that will be half and half, becomes 5 billion yojanas, this whole universe with the outer shell. Okay, now we're going to just deep dive further about the movement of the sun. This is what we have just discussed. So this is 250 you can 2.5 billion yojanas, and this is the disk, which is diameter. This is shell of the universe. So whatever science are doing, we have gone that far, this far, we are still inside the universe. We still haven't got to the shell of the universe yet. Okay, so now we're going to go in a little bit more detail, the significance of the sun in the temple, right? So you see, the temple is considered to be incomplete without having without having these personalities, which are Vishnu. If a temple is there, they need to have a Vishnu, a deity of a Vishnu. Okay. The second thing is, in a temple, there should be a Lakshmi in the temple, the Shakti, or the third thing has to be a Durga Devi, has to be there in the temple. If you're constructing a temple, the third thing is there has to be a Vignaharta, Ganesha has to be there, and Lord Shiva has to be there, a lingam has to be there. And apart from these, in the temple, there has to be the Nav Grahas, headed by the sun god. Now, these 9 grahas of the planets, which are subtle, influence the lives of all of us. So these nerve grahas are very subtle, but they influence a lot of things in our life. And that's why we need all this nakshatra and everything. So the question may arise that if we are saying this because the temple have all these personalities like Durga, Ganesh, Shiva, Navgrahas, Hare Krishna, where is it? All these in ISKCON temple. We can't see Lingam, we cannot see Durga Devi, we cannot see Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesha. How then isn't our temple bona fide? Right? People may ask this question. So Srila Prabhupada, said we are in Kali Yuga, definitely. Okay, we are living in the age of Kali, and if we are having all these personalities in the temple, what's going to happen? We will be confused ourselves. We will be going around and around and around and around. Srila Prabhupada made ISKCON so that we can get out of this material world, focus on one thing. So if these personalities are not there, then how we can say that our temple is bona fide? Yes, Srila Prabhupada says. Srila Prabhupada understand that, from Srimad Bhagavatam. Can anyone read the shloka, please, and the translation, which is upon your screen?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Mataji, you can read, Mataji.
Mataji, please go ahead. Yeah, you go.
Acharyam mam vijaaniyan navamanyeta karchit namartya buddhya suyeta sarvadeva mayo guru.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, what Srila Prabhupada says, one should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, or he is a representative of all demigods. So Srila Prabhupada said that if you want to construct a temple, put me in front of it. Put me in front of it, because all the 33 crore Devi Devtas are in your spiritual master. So when we are going down to Srila Prabhupada, we are not going down to just the Srila Prabhupada, we are going down to all 33 crores Devi Devtas. Sarva Devo Mayo Guru, that what it says, all the demigods are presented in Srila Prabhupada. We need to understand this. So if we are having all the Devi Devtas are there in temple, in the front we have got Radha Giridhari, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Gaur Nitai, and all 33 Devi Devtas in front of them with folded hands, which Srila Prabhupada is representing. So when we bow down, we are representing, we are going down to all 33 crore Devi Devtas. So we don't need to have specific Devta or the Lingam or Ganesh or anything, you know. So so when we see the temple, sun is very, very important in the construction of the temple, like when we do Vastu Shastra and everything. But it's said that if you have got Srila Prabhupada, who's a spiritual master, who represent all the Devi Devtas, then we don't need to have all these in the temple. Now we'll have a quick look at the different forms of sun, because this chapter is all about sun. We're going to just discuss about on this aspect. There are 4 forms of sun. They're called as Udaya Surya, which is the rising sun, Madhyan Surya, which is the noon sun, Astamaya Surya, which is the setting sun, and Shaya Surya, which is the after setting of the sun, you will see the reddish in the sky, you know, that is called as Shaya Surya. Okay, and you will see in the scriptures there are 12 prominent names of the sun, and they are represented by different mantras, you know, Om, and then the name of the sun, and Namaha, like Om Mitraya Nama, Om Ravi Nama, Surya Nama, Bhave Nama, Kagaya Nama, and so on, so on, so on. But there's one very nice name at the end of this mantra, which is Om Shri Savitri Surya Narayana Nama. What is Surya Narayana? Do anyone know who Surya Narayana is?
Sun is an expansion of the Lord Narayan, so he is considered Surya Narayan too.
Yes, yes. So like what we have got a body, right? Sun has got a body, which we see with our physical eyes, right? In that, there are 2 personalities. One is sun god, which we are just discussing. The second is Surya Narayana, like a super soul. And that Surya Narayana is golden in color. That Narayan form is beautiful, that is golden in color, that is called as Surya Narayana. So they are, just understand our body, which is like a sun. There is soul, which is sun god, and there is super soul, which is Surya Narayan, which is golden in color. So that form of Narayan is the one which we worship in the morning. Do you recall any personalities in our scriptures in Srimad Bhagavatam who was praying to Surya? A good devotee of the Lord, a very, 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 very powerful devotee who was praying to the Sun Lord, Surya Narayan. I mean, we just read it in 5th canto. I'm giving the example, some hints. It was in 5th canto. Jad Bharat. He was praying to sun, but he was praying to sun Surya Narayan, not a sun as a sun god, but Surya Narayan, the form of Narayan in the Surya. He was praying to Surya Narayan. And Srila Prabhupada has nicely quoted in his purport 5:14 and 7. 14 chapter 7 sloka that he was praying to the sun god, not as the sun god as the sun, the inner personality of the sun god, which is Surya Narayan. It's called as Hirnamay. Hirna means golden. May is the person who has got a golden form. Hirnamay Narayan. Okay, so he was praying to the sun god. And similarly, if you see all the Brahmanas, we do Gayatri mantras. And that's why we have to do Gayatri. We have to invoke the Gayatri mantra when we do in 3 phases of the day, which is Uday, which is rising sun, Madhya, which is noon, and Asta, setting. That's why we do Gayatri in 3 times a day in 3 different suns. And this is also confirmed in Rig Veda. It says, always meditating upon Narayan, who is situated in the center of the sun globe. Now, this is the place where someone says if the Surya Narayan is there, Hirnamay Narayan is there in sun. What is the proof? It says here, always meditate upon Narayana, who is situated in the center of the sun globe, seated upon lotus throne. He is adorned with almonds, fish-shaped earrings, crown, wearing beautiful garland. His form shines with a golden effulgence, and he holds a conch disc in his hand. So that is the form of Narayan, whom Bharat Maharaj was praying, whom we pray. When we pray our obeisances to the person, we are paying obeisances to the Paramatma inside us, right? We are doing the pranam to the Paramatma who is inside that person. We are paying our obeisance to that person, not to that actual person, but to the Paramatma inside that person. So this confirms here, And if you see, there are 2 kind of people who use and throw and who really save things. So say, for example, there are Mayavadis who are the person who believes in Panchopasna Vidhi. So what they say is they first pray to Ganesha, right? Because they are Vignaharta. And they remove all the obstacles for them to move forward in their, not say devotion, but in their progress of their life. Okay, because they are atheistic people. Once they have used Ganesha, they will go to Lord Sun. Why? To get opulence, to get fame, so that they can continue on their path of mukti. Then they worship Shakti, so that they want to connect to the universe. Now, after having this Marvel movie series, there are a lot of talking about multiverse. There are many universes. People have started going, I want to connect to the universe, how to connect to the universe. And now they're starting, getting into the mode of, I want to connect to the universe. They don't want to connect to the person who has created the universe, but they want to connect to the universe, but not to the person who has created it. How unfortunate is that? Then they will go to Lord Shiva. When they put bhasma on their head, you know what those 3 lines represents? Anyone? You can unmute the mic and just those 3 lines of all Shivites. They put 3 lines here. You know what those 3 lines represents? They put ashes, bhasma.
Sattvagunam, Rajagunam, Tamagunam, Prabhuji, might, if I am right. I'm not sure.
Yes, kind of. But if we'll say, they believe in 3 things. People who are Shivites, they are looking for moksha. Right? They are looking for moksha. And they think that only 3 things are the obstacle, which is the 3 things which is also there in Bhagavad Gita, which is lust, anger, and greed. Right? And these are the obstacles. They want to burn them into ashes. That's why they put those 3 as a bhasma on their head, that they want to control these things and get moksha. And once they have done with this, they reject Shiva as well. And then they go to Vishnu. Why Vishnu? Because they know, apart from Vishnu, no one's going to do the mukti. That's why they go to Vishnu, and after once they think they get mukti, they reject Vishnu as well. They even reject their guru as well. But look at the devotees of the Lord. They take everything in connection to the Lord, right? Like for example, Ganesha. We take him as a Vignaharta, who has got the power from Narsimhadev. Narsimha has bestows his some opulence to Lord Ganesha, that okay, you can be a Vignaharta. Okay, then we go to sun. We have just read like how Bharat Maharaj Hinamay. We pray to the Sun Lord, who is the golden color, Surya Narayan. Shiva, it says it's in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says one of the biggest Vaishnavas. We respect our obeisances to Lord Shiva as well, and so on and so forth. And Lord, what does Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita? He says, one who sees everything in me and me in everything, that person is not lost. So a devotee of the Lord sees everything in relation to Krishna. Okay, so let's come back to the Antariksh space. So you will see here that the sun, which we just saw earlier, is slightly above the earth and moon is above the sun. So if you look at a vertical point of view, the sun, distance between the sun and the moon is same. The sun to the moon, sun to the earth is equidistant in vertical plane, not horizontal plane. I'm talking about vertical plane. Okay. So people may have controversy. Sun is very closer to earth. The sun is too far. Moon is so close. Why so and so? But if you look at the vertical plane, sun is equidistant to earth as well as the moon. We'll have a look at this in later on as we progress further. So you will see this is how the day of a sun happened. This is how the movement of the sun happened. We're going to go slowly, and I will explain you with this diagram. Okay, so you can see here how the day of the sun happened. So first, the sun is here, and it goes round its trajectory like this. So you can see this is Earth. I'll just show you. This is Earth, where the Earth is right now. This is moon, and that's the sun, that's earth. So what happens? Sun is situated on a Manasotra mountain and goes round the orbit. That's the orbit of the sun. Okay? The sun goes from here, come back here, in the same place. That is 24 hours. Okay? Now, there may be some people who may have questioned that if sun is going from here, coming back to here, there is Meru Parvat in between, right? So if that is the case, then when sun is behind Meru Parvat, then earth should not get any sunlight. Right or wrong? If Meru Parvat is here and sun goes behind Meru Parvat, then earth should have no light. It's a blind spot, isn't it? But please try to understand this. All these things are not visible to eyes. Planets are not visible to us because we don't have that divine eyes to see all these celestial things. We have been only provided the vision of those stars, those planets, those constellations, by which we can do our day-to-day calculations to perform ceremonies, yajnas, and festivals. Not all of them are visible. If you see, we cannot see Lokalok mountain. We cannot see Golden Sumeru. Forget that, we can't even see the next Dvipa. That we say that we got Dvipas here, 7 Dvips. We can't even see that. Right? And we cannot see heavenly planets, we cannot see hellish planets because they are not visible to these eyes. However, Srila Prabhupada says that, in Bhagavatam, that, if the demigod wants us to see them, they will reveal themselves to us. Then we can see. If they don't want, we can't see them. Okay, so similarly, these abodes, stars, object we cannot see. So please understand that when the sun goes round in one circle, the Sumeru Parvat is in between, that is not seen. And that's why there is no blind spot. Okay, so we can see sun 24/7 in different part of the world. Okay, so we'll now go to in further calculation on the sun's movement. Okay, so what we can see again the same diagram. So the sun crosses the entire orbit in 1 day. Okay, which is also known as 60 dandas. Okay, so this is the unit of a time, 60 dandas. And 1 day is also called as 3,600 palas. We say na, Prabhuji, ek pal dijiye, ek pal, ek pal. That's just 3,600 palas in 1 day, right? And in one danda there are 24 minutes. Now we'll go further. In one danda there are 24 minutes. And if you see, the rising of a sun takes 24 minutes. That is one danda or 60 pulse. In 60 pulse or 124 minutes, the sun rises. Okay. If you see, you know how many dandas do Goswamis take rest for? Any idea? Any ideas how many minutes do Goswamis, sannyasis take rest? They are called as Char Dande Shani. 4 dandas, 96 minutes, 1 hour, 36 minutes. That's how much they take Shan for, which is coming from here. Char Dande Shani. Yeah. Then 8 dandas equals 1 praher. Now we're getting a little bit in details. 8 dandas are called 1 praher, and 1 praher is equal to 3 hours. So in day, there are total 8 prahars, which is made up of 4 prahars, which is 12 hours of day, and 4 prahar, which is 12 hours of night. Okay. And now we'll see the power of sun. Now we can see the light. We got 10 watt, 12 watt, 30 watts. What is the power of sun? How much it can blow in a minute? Okay, so we have heard the Muhurat. We generally call in the movies, they say Muhurat nikla ja raha hai, what is that Muhurat? That is 2 dandas, that is 48 minutes. Okay, in 48 minutes it's called as 1 Muhurat, and in that 48 minutes, that is the power of sun. It illuminates how many yojans? 181,000 yojans. It spread light. That is the power of sun. Please understand, the sun is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. We have got very powerful demigod. Superpower. It's 18,000 yojanas. He spread light. Hamara ek bulb kitna hi laga loge. When we see cricket matches, they got so many floodlights and this lights. Look at this power. 81,000 yojanas. Now, this is just yojanas. We haven't converted into miles. We haven't converted into kilometers. That is the power of sun. It's illuminating light with that power. That is the power of sun. And it travels through all Rashi's constellations. 1 month, the sun travels through different 6 ritus and 12 months and 12 months. Okay, and this in 6 months we see the days get longer, and in 6th month the days get shorter, which is called as we call now here in New Zealand, we call it daylight saving for 6 months. In 6 months we got where the days are bigger. How does that happen? So you will see in the diagram, there is Dhruv Loka here. It's Dhruv Loka here, right? Now this is the pole star. Now when all 3, moon, earth and sun, are pulled towards Dhruv Loka, are pulled upwards, they are called as Uttarayana. Okay, Uttarayana, 6 months. And the same thing, when they're pulled down, they'll call as Dakshinayana. Okay, when the days become smaller. Okay, now we'll just look at the constellation, how the sun passes through different constellations. So this is sun is passing through different constellations through Uttarayana. So when the days get longer, Uttarayana is when the days are getting longer by one danda, by every 24 minutes. Every 24 minutes, the days get longer. So that means the sun is fast at the night time and slower during the daytime. And that affects these here, starting from Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. This is when the sun is having the longer days, is traveling slow at night. Is traveling fast in night and slower during the daytime. So days becomes longer. And Dakshayana, when the days are becoming lesser by one danda, 24 minutes, the days get shorter. And this is over here. And and it is Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. This is where the days become smaller. But if you see these one, Aries and Tula, Libra, they are equinox. Here the days and the nights are all same. Okay, so you can see from this that as the sun passes, Uttarayana and Dakshayana, the days become longer and smaller, shorter, and this is because the movement of sun through different months, different ritus. Before we go any further, we just quickly want to know what is the distance between the sun and the earth. Do anyone know what is the distance between the sun and earth? How we can find it? If you have heard Ramcharitmanas, there is a shloka. Yuga Shastra Yojan Par Bhanu Liyo Tahi Madhur Phala Janu. What does that mean? Yuga. What is yuga? Is in calculation term is 12,000. Shastra is 1,000. Yojana is miles. So if you multiply 12,000, 10,000, 1,008, it becomes 96 million miles. If you convert that in kilometers, that becomes 153.6 kilometers, million kilometers. Okay. Science says the Earth distance between Earth and Sun is 152 million. So our calculation is what Hanumanji has said is perfectly close. Now the question may arise: why we are taking yugas as 12,000? Where is 12,000 coming from? Do anyone know this? Shastra is no, has 1,000. Yojan is I. Why is yugas 12,000? Why we're taking 12,000? Where is this calculation coming from? If you see, Kali Yuga plus Dwapar Yuga plus Treta Yuga plus Satya Yuga, that becomes 432 millions, whatever the number of zeros are there. And if you divide by 360 to become in human years, that becomes celestial years. If you divide by 360, that becomes celestial years. That's where 12,000 comes from. If you multiply this by 360, you will get the same figure, 432 with plenty of zeros. Okay, so that's where the calculation comes from. So it says in Ramcharitmanas, the distance between the Earth and the Sun is 96 million, or you can say 56 million kilometers, 152 or 153.6 million kilometers. Okay. Now the last session of is the present Surya. Who is the present Surya? Do anyone know who is the present Surya is? It is none other than
Vivashwan.
Vivashwan. Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. It's Vivashwan. It says in the Bhagavad Gita 4.1, the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivashwan. And Vivashwan instructed to Manu. Okay, so Vivashwan is a student of Bhagavad Gita student. He has done Bhakti Shastri as well. So Vivashwan is the one who is the student of Krishna, and he is the one who is ruling the sun right now. And once the time frame is over, this will be passed on to the next person, and he will take on the role of sun. So whatever we human beings come from Vivashvat Manu, who is the father of Vivashwan. So he is currently now the current what do you say, person who is responsible for running the chariot right now with Arun Dev. Okay, I will end the class here. Should you have any question, please feel free. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. I know this topic is a very technical, not too much of philosophy in this, but yeah, this is it's good to know about how the movement of sun happens. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandat Pranam.
Dandat
Thank
Pranam,
you.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you for enlightening this movement of the sun, which are the subject matter of this today. I have given the so much information, really important for all of us to understand why the movement of sun is there. As you mentioned, we say moon is stationary, but it's not. Shastra says no. Sun also moves, and those subject matter which you started with, that a description of the sun, is very important for us to understand why we worship sun god. And and sun has got 12 names, and that's why the Surya Namaskar is made of 12. There are 12 parts of Surya Namaskar. All those are stations on that 12 names. So important for us, at least the outline you have made is so important, and we should go through it. Of course, I also read it, but not so thoroughly. Thank you for enlightening the things, some of the things which are very, very important to understand the movement of the sun, moon, and all the planets, which will come later on, is very important for us to understand. As
Yes.
you mentioned, why we don't collect all the demigods in our temple. That's very, very important questions. And understanding that because Srila Prabhupada holds all the posts within him. So we do not any more demigods to be installed in our temples. Thank you so much for enlightening so uh, widely to understand the movement of the sun and the importance of sun in our lives or in the life of all living entities. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we have no further comments. Oh
Hare
yeah.
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Charan Pranam. Thank you so
Dandat
much
Pranam.
for a wonderful class. First time I had so many different information about the sun. Just amazing. Thank you for bringing all this together. Yeah, it's wonderful. The sun is also moving, and the whole planetary system is also moving, and also the Earth is rotating,
Around the sun.
around the
Yeah.
sun, and the Earth is rotating like 164,000 miles per hour, or something. And the whole
Quite fast,
planet,
yes.
and the whole universe and the whole planetary system is rotating in the Milky Way. The Milky Way is
Yes.
also moving. It's just mind-blowing, I just can't inconceivable the way Krishna's arrangement is. And today you gave a small sample of how inconceivable everything is. Thank you for bringing this together.
Thank you so much. But the mind-blowing thing is, we see all these things, right? That is for our understanding. Science has happened by Big Bang. It's not happened by Big Bang. There is someone who's running things at the background. We just say it's all happened by chance. It's not happened by chance. Someone is doing something behind the doors that we need to understand, and that's Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful presentation and the wonderful research. You have done so many topics and gone into so much of depth and detail. Thank you very much, Chitra Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji, I think we are all done. So we'll end the session here.
Okay, Vanchakal Patarubhyascha.
Kripa Sindhu
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namo Anantakuti
की
Vaishnavrinda
जय
Ki Jai.
श्री कृष्ण प्रभु की जय
Ki
श्री
Jai.
प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada
की
Ki Jai.
जय
Lord Vimanande
हरि
Hari
हरि
Hari
बोल
Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare